What's up, guys? So check it out. I want to give you an example of how I study, because I definitely encourage studying or self-education, etc. So through reading whatever it may be, whether it's articles, blogs, or through watching YouTube videos, or through reading books, or a combination of all of them. For example, it took me a little while, but I drew out this picture right here, okay? And this is basically a picture of the stomach and arteries and the intestine, the small intestine. Anyways, this is basically a picture of some arteries and some organs, okay? And then I go and then I label every part of that picture that I just drew, and then I put a number with it. And what I do is, for example, I have a lot of rough drafts of this. Is like the final one that I'm going to do. There's like a rough draft, and I'm putting numbers around just to make sure they all fit, as you can see, like 1, 2, 3, etc. And this is what's like my rough draft. Before I would transfer it to my final draft, I would kind of make sure that the measurements, you know, because I like to have a pretty good visual example so that I can learn. And also, as I'm drawing, as I am making these drawings of organs and arteries, it's also basically it's like getting embedded in my memory. It's getting embedded in my head. So as I'm drawing this stuff, it's getting, you know, stuck, memorizing it. And for example, here's another more or less rough draft. And then where is that? Anyways, so I write down the numbers, then I'm gonna go label the picture. Also, I got more numbers here. Also from there, for example, I've also been writing my notes, which I will definitely finish, because I have plenty that are connected to this picture. So I have plenty of notes that are connected to this picture, to this drawing, to this study session. Okay. Now, for example, my last note says right hepatic artery has a branch that supplies the gallbladder, the cystic artery. So the cystic artery supplies the gallbladder with blood. So I come over here to this is my rough draft, but I could show you on my final draft. Okay, the right hepatic artery is this one right here. Okay, and then it says the right hepatic artery has a branch. Okay, the right hepatic artery is this one right here, and the branch is right there. That's the branch. Okay, so that branch is the cystic artery. Okay, so now basically I use these notes that I'm taking. Okay, that's it for this study session, I believe. So I'm gonna go back and finish up my notes from this study session, because I definitely need to finish them. I'll read the notes, I'll read what it says, and then I'll go to my picture and I will review it visually, and that will help me memorize it better. And if I don't know, for example, where the right hepatic artery is, then I go to my notes. It says number 18, right hepatic artery. So then I just find number 18 on my visual example, and I know where that is. So my notes I may not know exactly where these things are yet, but all I have to do is look on my visual picture. So as well, for example, that's how I learned about liver lobules. And if you can see here, I'm talking about the inferior vena cava, which is a artery. Oh no, the inferior vena cava is a vein. But these are the kinds of things that got me studying about the heart. This is how it all, it all led, one thing led to another. Superior mesenteric vein, there's also a superior mesenteric artery. Anyways, so I got a lot of these study sessions, but what I wanted to share with you is here's another visual study session that I created or that I experienced, etc. And this one is about the liver, and the liver, basically like the functioning part of the liver. They're called liver lobules. And so the liver has a bunch of these liver lobules, and that's basically how our liver works. The liver lobule is like the main factory inside, and there's a bunch of them. And so I had to learn how these worked, and that took me a while, but through a lot of the same process that I just showed you, that I'm learning with right now about other parts of the body, that's how I do it. So I encourage you guys to study, find out what interests you, and I promise you it just gets more and more enjoyable. At first, I have videos earlier in my YouTube videos when I mentioned that at first I wanted to quit. It's a beautiful day, by the way. It's been raining a little, but it looks like the sun might be coming out a little right now. But at first, I wanted to quit very much so. The first thing I ever started to learn about really was the digestive system, where that's the first thing that I really started to try to learn about, that really frustrated me, that really intimidated me, and it made me feel like I wanted to stop. And I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't, because I got a very good understanding about the digestive system. But basically a bunch of vocabulary started to get brought up, and a bunch of processes and a bunch of functions inside the digestive system that occur. And I just wanted to stop, because I was like, okay, this is crazy. How am I supposed to learn all this? And I'm glad I didn't. I stuck with it, and eventually it started to make sense. And so I encourage it. It's not going to be easy at first, fair to say, but that's how I do it. I got, notebooks. I get my notes, and I get to work. I got a book, so I can also, for example, everything I'm learning about with my phone, because I also research with my phone, I can also get into my book, The Complete Human Body, and then start reviewing it on my, it's wrong page. There it is. And then I can also start reviewing it in my book. So the same arteries that I've been learning about the last few days, they're all in this book, and I can, use different references, different tools, whether it be videos or reading or pictures, to learn. And that's how I learn, guys. And that's how what I mean by self-education. That's what I mean by studying. So everybody, hope you're having a beautiful day, and let's get it. I'll make videos later about a few things I've eaten today that are, I imagine they're considered superfoods, like spirulina, for example. And I have a earlier video also about a small meal I had today as well, if you want to check that out. All right, guys. Talk to y'all later. I also drank some green tea. I encourage drinking green tea. I had some matcha also. And check those out as well. Research, self-educate. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out.